Spire.
Welcome back to Starting Now. I'm your host, Jeff Sarris. This is the show where I talk to entrepreneurs and creatives to reveal the unexpected paths to where they are today. And today I'm talking to S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S from the S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S NFT project. And he has created an amazing project. It's an immersive NFT experience, but we're not talking about software. We're not talking about like a video game of sorts. He's creating it all through the Discord, through the stuff that he has been able to, the universe he's been able to craft and create, all from his like vision for S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S. And there's individual characters that are dropped that are amazing art. I just absolutely love it. But then from day one within the community, he's been doing, there's different puzzles and there's immersive moments that he creates that is unlike anything I've come across. And again, this is all analog. It's not programming. This is someone with a very clear vision and a very wide-ranging vision of how he can create these experiences for people, and he is nailing it. And we dive into where that comes from and how he liked to do things like this as a child. But anyway, this is an awesome episode, and I really think you're going to enjoy it and getting a deep dive into the man, S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S himself. So, without further ado, my conversation with S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S from S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S NFT. Yeah, you are, and I want to dive into that sort of game side of things, but you're an evil game master. You create these things that just make our heads spin. It's so much fun.
I want you guys to have like a fun experience, and I'm a big fan of RG. I don't know if you're familiar with that, RG.
I don't think so.
Games. So those are games based on stories that people create.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. RPG.
No, not RPG. It's RG.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I don't know
so
then.
It's
yeah.
basically based on it's alternative reality games, and so people will write a story, and that will include you into that story. You will have to make research on your own on internet or even outside in real world to find clues and everything. I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah. Not even to get into the puzzle today or the last few days, but yeah, that has.
It's
really
just the beginning, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can tell just from everything. Like, I don't want to get too far down that path. Like, just to start.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
How do you encapsulate just sort of what you're doing right now, who you are today, and then we'll dive into origin stories and everything else in a little bit.
So I come from a small island in France. It's French, but it's a small island where I grew up over there, and it's a beautiful place. And when I was a kid, I was pretty shy, and I'm more like an introvert, even though I'm working on that. I feel better now because I've done like a few meetings and conferences for my work, so I feel better now. But when I was a kid, I was super shy, and so I would say like all by myself, and there was not a lot of things to do over there. So I will create my own world and starting to draw my what I had in my head, and I love games, video games, and I was creating this small video games, but on paper, like more RPG on paper. I will create my own characters like I do now, actually. And
at what age was this, would you say?
I was like maybe 9, 10.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you started very early.
Yeah. So I was really into that stuff. And growing up, I knew already what I wanted to do. I wanted to do animation. I was a huge fan of manga, especially Dragon Ball. Because in France at that time, we grew up with Dragon Ball. I know that it arrived like later on in the US, but I grew up with Dragon Ball in the 80s, 90s. And so, yeah, I knew that I wanted to do that. I wanted to create characters and make them move. So like when I was 14, I knew that was going to be my job. So it was complicated because there are from where I come from a small place. There is no school for that or anything, so I had to do some research, and I found like schools in France. So I went to the University of Corsica to study art, fine art and stuff like this. Story of art story. I mean, history. Sorry.
Yeah.
For 4 years, actually, you could say that it was a waste of time, but I really enjoyed my experience over there.
Oh yeah.
When you're a student, you're far from home, and you get to know other people with kind of the same taste than you. So it was like, wow, it's cool. And
yeah, it's probably mind opening as well, like for the art itself.
It is. Yeah. So it was already one step. That was great. Then, but it was not what I wanted to do. So during all this time, first I enjoyed myself for the first 2 years, like partying a lot of time. And then I decided, okay, man, you want to do that, now you have to work. I made some research, found schools in France, and I found two. One is Gobelin, which is the best in France, but the test to go inside this school is like crazy hard. You have like the day when you pass the test, you're like in this huge hangar, like huge, and there was like 1,000 people.
Wow. And that's everyone applying.
Passing the test, and there's only like 25 spots.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing here? It's so impressive and intimidating because you see all those people doing the same thing, and you can see that those people are great already. You're like, fuck, I feel like shit. What am I doing here? But it was a great experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one for sure.
It's like a big slap, like reality slap. Like you have to work more if you want to pretend to be there.
Yeah.
So I went to another school. It was complicated as well, but I managed to go in that school at the second try because I failed both tests the first time. So the next year I took the whole year. Instead of going to the university, I was doing every day, building my own portfolio,
Yeah.
I've done that for a year, and it worked out. So I went in a school in Angoulême, which is a small city in France, but it's a beautiful city. And I spent 2 years over there studying animation, doing my own stuff. I don't know if you've seen the short film, my student short film, the demons and everything.
Yeah.
So this is where I've done that. It was in 2004, so it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the 2 years, I decided to go to keep on studying animation, and I went to Gobelin. I was able to pass the test this time. So I went directly I jumped directly into the third years because there were like 3 years. It was great, and I worked on another short film when I was at this school. It was basically the last year is when you do your short film. You have to team up with other colleagues and friends and produce a movie in 1 year. So we were 6 on my movie. I'll share it with you all soon.
Oh yeah, that'll be exciting.
It was cool. It was a fun experience.
Yeah. I mean, even that very first short film in 2004 that you've shared, like it blows my mind. Like just that would have been like your first or one of the earlier student short films. It's already so advanced, like showing your like illustration style, your skill set. Like, I don't know. I'm just very impressed. Very impressed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, like you said, skill sets. Like I like to wear many hats. So this comes from my background. I like to touch everything. So that's why I'm doing 2D. I'm doing 3D animation. I'm doing sound design, stuff like this. So that comes from my student background, and I mean, it's me.
Yeah.
I don't like just doing one thing. One thing. Sorry.
Yeah, you have that entrepreneurial like drive. Like I'm exactly the same way. I have dabbled and started businesses and different things in so many different areas. But it's that just internal drive. It's like never. Yeah, we're never satisfied because there's something more and other opportunities and things that we enjoy. Yeah,
exactly. That's why I love this space as well, the NFT space so much, because you can just give it. You can do everything you want.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if you like to create, like using different media, and you have a world, you can mix everything up and build something. And if people like it, it's like a dream come true. Like for me, it's like it's a dream right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're
Because
your own boss. You're running this.
and I do my own stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're doing everything. So I actually want to like bridge that gap. So how did you get, because you were working at some big Hollywood animation studio. I don't know if you want to share or not, but so I think you mentioned in the Discord, but on the video, it's up to you. But what was sort of the journey from France, from school, from developing and learning into like Hollywood?
So actually, the path to go over there, it was complicated because I met my wife in school, and since then we work together. I mean, she's sitting right here working on her own stuff.
Nice. Does she do similar work?
Yeah, she's an animator as well.
Oh, exciting! That's very
So I won't
cool.
say for what, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, we've been working together since we got out of school, and we work in Paris on different projects like commercials, short films, feature films. At one point, I was like, Paris, I can't stand this city anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I come from a small place, and cities like this, it's just too stressful for me. So I wanted to leave, and we had this, before leaving, we had this opportunity. We had an interview with a recruiter, but it was to go to India.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a little different.
They were opening a studio over there to work on the small project, like short films. So yeah, we said, let's go. We were young. We just wanted to have some fun, and it was like a nice adventure. So we said yes. We went there for 2 years and a half.
Nice.
Yeah, we stayed there. We work on different short films, and then we started to receive sequences from feature films. So we started to work on feature films from there, which was great for us because it was like we could finally have a link with the feature production team. So if you work well, you can get noticed by the team over there, and maybe they can ask you to come there to keep working on feature films, which is what happened at some point, because after 2 years and a half in India, I was like, I can't stand it anymore as well, because it's like this big city vibe, and in India it's like super polluted, and there's like super noisy. Like you go in the street, it's people honking everywhere, like there's no rules. And people, because you're a stranger, people look at you, like they stare at you like you are a ghost or something, you know, constantly. So yeah, I was like, no, let's go home. I need a break from all of this. And before we left for good, I sent a demo reel with all the stuff I've done in India to DreamWorks here in LA, and luckily it worked out. I mean, they contacted me and they said, do you want to come by in like 2-3 months? I was like, yes.
Nice.
Let's go. So it was so transition was pretty fast because I had to come back to France, do all the paperwork, you know, the visa and everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Just had the time to we got married with my wife, so it would be easier for her.
Yeah.
So everything at the same time, it was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that is a lot. And the culture shift from France to India back, and then all the way across to LA, like that's a lot to handle all at once, along with personal life changes too. So wow, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It was it was exciting. It was like 2012. It was our revolution. You know, it was supposed to happen, a revolution. So that was our 2012 revolution for sure.
Nice. Yeah,
it was great.
So then you were full time there up until NFTs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just briefly, how do you describe S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S? Because I mean, there's a lot to it, but before we'll keep going, but how do you describe the project itself?
So I want you to think it as an experience, you know, because I like to create not only cool pictures, of course, I love doing that and animating them, but I like also to put stories behind them and try to have interaction with people, you know, through those pictures and stories. So to me, when you join the Shack, you join like an experience. So we have plenty of stuff for everyone. So if you like cool pictures, you're a collector, it's for you. If you like stories, it's for you. If you like puzzles, if you like weird stuff, there's something for you. You know. And I keep on. I mean, I want to do so many different things that I want you to be surprised every day. There's not every day, but I want you to find something new every time you come to the Discord or you buy a picture. You know.
Definitely.
So yeah, and I want to expand that world. So I want to touch different media. You know, I'm an animator, I work on feature films, so I love to, and I'm preparing a trailer.
Nice.
That will show different chakras and the world. Because right now I have the feeling if I put myself into the audience shoes, there is no imagery or picture showing the shack and the war. You know, you can see the characters, but there's nothing. So I want to work on that now. Like draw what is the shack exactly, how is it, how does it look inside, outside, how people go inside and go outside. You know, I want you to feel like you're inside too.
Yeah, and briefly then, can you describe because the S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S is an acronym, and just the little part of the story, like how that operates?
So basically S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S, so if you take the acronym, I have to put it in front of me because it's even though it's my project.
Okay, good, because I couldn't remember either, so it's not just me.
It's a safe house of alien culture and knowledge. And then when you add Earth at the end, it's eternal residents because they are the prisoner of this facility. Basically, it's an organization where we used to study something. I won't spoil anything because I want you to participate to the giant interactive raffle at the end of the season. But basically, it's been built to study something. And when the study started, something happened and entities started to arrive in this facility. So we had to convert it into an organization that would prevent those entities to invade the world and keep the Earth safe, basically.
Yeah, I love
it. That's why
we
call it. You call it like a safe house of alien culture and knowledge because it's a place to keep them under surveillance and to study them.
Yeah, like that is the thing. That's the thing about your project. I haven't come across another as immersive. Like the feeling, like it feels so fleshed out. The story, the creativity, everything that goes into it from like the day one, because it was like early July when I came across your stuff.
Yeah.
And from day one, it was like, this is like, I'm already in this. Like, I get it. I'm in this universe. I feel it. I understand it. And yeah, I really, really appreciate that. I liked what you're doing with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's just really, it's interesting. I actually wanted to ask, what was the point when, actually, before I ask that, how did you start to get sort of the groundswell of collectors and connecting with people? Because it was a brand new project around June-ish. Was it May, June?
End of June, beginning of July. Yeah, end of June.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was like just a couple weeks after you started.
You were super early. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So how did
thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. How did you first start to connect with people?
That's okay. I come from I'm not completely new to NFT. I started with another project.
Oh, nice.
I won't say it now.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I'll say it later. It was pretty successful as well. It's kind of in pause right now because I'm focusing on S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I will come back to it eventually soon. So I knew how it works and everything. So I started this new collection because I wanted to express more. Because the other project is based on famous characters. Okay. Because this is what was working at that time, but it's also what I like to do: draw a famous character. But I wanted to express myself, like show you what I do, what I draw every day, what I have in my mind. So I started this collection, and I think the first post I've made was under NFT update post.
Nice.
So I when he asked for people to shield their art, So I did that, and he contacted me right away. He said, okay, I bite.
That's amazing.
Who are you? He wanted to know who I was.
Uh-huh.
So I told him my story, and he was like, okay. He bought everything.
Oh, nice.
It was the first. It was the first S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S.
Very cool. Which, yeah, that one is back in your possession now, right? Sort of like open for bids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought it back to help someone.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, open for bids, but currently
that's okay.
back at the shack. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's awesome. So yeah, just from that first tweet, it started to get that ball rolling, and like that's really exciting. And like the work speaks for itself. That is the thing that really, like, as soon as you see it, you're like, okay, yes, I really like that. I mean, it's something very special, very unique. It's your style. And
it's my stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. How long had you been working on other NFT projects before launching S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S?
I think I started March.
Oh, nice.
February or March, yeah.
Yeah, so see that, and that actually, it makes a lot of sense because you were able to sort of get your feet wet, figure out like the mechanisms of everything, and then put together this project that really you could hit the ground running with. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was training, yeah.
Yeah, at what point then were you like, and this can be my full-time future? Was there a tipping point?
Yeah, when I started to notice that I could maybe make a living of that, of my true passion, which is like creating my own stuff and my own world. I was like, I should take a decision because I feel I cannot be 100% into that project if I don't do something.
Yeah.
So I had to take a decision. So yeah.
Yeah. That has to be a tough one though, right? I mean, because that is a steady paycheck, like sort of, and it's sort of I assume the dream job, like working there at an animation studio like that. How hard was that decision in the end?
That was tough, but it's a dream job, and I've learned a lot. I met a lot of great people over there, but at some point, if you don't take the opportunity that's in front of you, because literally it's in front of me, like I have the feeling that this thing could go further, my project,
Oh yeah.
And I thought, if you don't take a decision right now, you're gonna regret it later, and I know that. So I took the risk, and that's I don't really regret it right now.
Oh, yeah.
And if for some reason something happened, I mean, it doesn't work or something changed, I could always go to another studio or keep doing animation anyway. So
yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it because it's you look at what's the worst that could happen. And
exactly.
If the worst that could happen isn't actually that bad, it's just going back or changing, like going to a different place or whatever it is. It makes the opportunity much more within reach and tangible. It's like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. It's spoken like a true entrepreneur,
Yeah. True.
But yeah, super excited. Like I just the whole experience. So I wanted to touch a little bit about the gamification that you've done through the puzzles and things. Like, you mentioned bridging that gap between the real world and everything. Like, do you have like specific, not specific, but inspirations that really drew you to creating puzzles and doing this thing, like with all the, like, because you're adding decoding of things and like all these different really clever mechanisms, and it's all just you. It's not like you're not writing code, you're not creating programs to do this. You're using existing things and building this immersive experience. Is there something that like inspired you, or maybe growing up that you were like, oh, this event here, this is something I really enjoy?
Yeah, man. I always been captivated by puzzles. Like there was some TV show when I was young where people had to solve puzzles and riddle. It was for kids programs. I love that, and I always loved. I don't know why, but I always loved to entertain people. I was the kid who would throw a magic show to his family, or we had a garage and I would transform it into a Halloween ride. Even though we don't celebrate Halloween, we watch American movies, or we have the spirit. So I would like rearrange the garage into like a room where people could walk into a maze, with decoration. So I know I like to it was pretty early that I found out that I like to do that. And growing up, I love to solve puzzle and riddles. There was a website where you can go, and there were tough ones called ouverture facile, like opening, easy opening.
Okay.
But it's not easy at all. It doesn't exist anymore when we switch from Flash to
yeah.
HTML5.
Yeah, HTML5.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of crates. There are these crates called Hunter Killer.
Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't tried any of those.
I'm not sponsored now. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
So RG, escape rooms. So I grew up with those stuff, and to me, it makes sense that I want to share with you guys.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it all comes through that it's a passion of yours. And I really like that. So when it comes to animation, this is just my personal like curiosity. How I don't even know what I want to ask, but the mechanism of getting to, so like you draw a shacker. We'll start there. So you draw a shacker, it's a still 2D guy. You're then, when you animate, doing what, 24 frames of new illustration per second? Is that like, and they're all just like essentially from scratch, right? Is there any sort of, there isn't like a mechanism or something to speed that process up, is there?
You can, there is a way to save time, but so sometimes I will do just accessories animation. So you would see only stuff moving on the accessories.
Yeah.
Those are pretty, relatively fast to do because you don't have to redraw the character itself.
Yeah.
But when I do like fully animation, fully animated body and everything, this is time consuming. There's no way. It's animation, it's time consuming. It is what it is. And you get trained for that. I know that a famous animator said that it takes like 10 years to produce an animator, for you to become an animator. 10 years of training, which is true.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So because it's such a gymnastic for the mind, You have to think about a lot of things at the same time, like timing. How long does it take to do this action, spacing, how far from a pose from another one, should be like, and also entertainment. What idea could I put into those frames? And then you have the drawing skill. You have to keep the character in model. So yes, you need to train yourself. Like it's an everyday thing.
Yeah, there is so much. Just like I can't even wrap my mind around that process of doing that. Like, how long do you spend on? So one of the like brief animations for S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S so far. One of the like characters, I forget exactly which number has the animation, but he's like all black in color and stuff. Like, how long would you spend creating something like that?
I can take an example of the previous one. When there's this one reconstituting itself, like 75. When it's rotating. So this I've done this one, and it took me an afternoon to have the animation rough, blocked. But this one is not that complicated, because it's pretty rough and there's no really face or complicated stuff on the design. It's just empty, like lamps. And it took me, I'd say, maybe 3 days.
Yeah,
because
amazing
coloring and doing the cleanup, this is the worst thing. Doing the first animation pass, it's the best.
Yeah, it's that rough, just like get the idea out.
And exactly. Then you work on the timing a little bit, and then you have to clean it up and color it. This is the pain in the ass.
Yeah, for sure. But it's why it's such a valuable thing that you're doing and a valuable end product to us, because it's amazing work.
Thank you.
I keep saying it, just because I am just in awe of all of it. I don't mean to keep rehashing over it. Oh, what kind of
Thank you.
tools do you find that you use, that you gravitate towards when you're doing that kind of work?
So I work a lot on my iPad
Mm-hmm.
with the Procreate. Usually when I do a character that doesn't move, but lately because I don't like to stay on the same thing for too long. I like to evolve as well. You can
Mm-hmm.
notice it if you look at the first tracker and the last one, you can see that there's like an evolution.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they have that thread between them. You can tell they're the same project, but there is a distinct evolution over time.
Yeah, because I like to try different things
Mm-hmm.
and evolve as well. I mean, I guess I'm getting a bit better every day. I mean, it's normal when you do the same thing every day, you get better at it. And I like to add more value to them now. I like to add a few animation, like on the accessories, or
Mm-hmm.
I like to find something special about them every time. So that's why lately you can see like there's more animated stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So someone who might just be starting out, like say just with NFTs, not for animation and the depth of your experience, but just someone who wants to maybe start a smaller NFT project, like when you started out, what kind of recommendations would you have for someone who would be brand new,
Um,
or at least relatively new?
Depends if it's an artist or
Yeah,
someone well, okay, if
yeah,
it's an
someone, yeah,
artist,
starting with an artist who maybe like just is like hearing about NFTs today, but they're like, oh, let me see, like, where do I begin in a space like this?
yeah, do your thing. Really, do your thing. Be your own person. I mean, you have to be yourself. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
people will say this guy want to imitate this one, this one. I get that a lot. I mean, because we had this. Some people every time I send a shaker, they say, "Oh, it's Ghost.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Ghost." It's Ghost because what? Because it's a portrait and because there's the signature and the
Yeah.
numbers. Okay,
Uh-huh.
but if you look, the characters, they're all different. At some point, I was making a meme, like I made this montage. I haven't sent it, but I made this montage with different characters, like Sangoku from Dragon Ball, a character from One Punch, from My Hero Academia, and I said, "Oh, it's Ghost." You know,
Yeah.
I love his project, and
Oh,
he's a great.
absolutely.
The guy is a great inspiration. It's just I'm saying that to people who constantly say, "Oh, you do like him, you do like him." No, I do me, and there's the signature. Yeah, there's the
Mm-hmm.
numbers, but everything is justified by the story.
Yeah.
So yeah, to a new person joining the NFT world, I'd say just be yourself and do your own style. Uh, Tell your story, and I guess if you have talent and you really believe in yourself and your project, it should work. I mean, at the beginning, it's tough because there are so many different projects
Mm-hmm.
to get noticed yourself. You need to contact maybe some influencer or start to shield under the right post. Don't chill when it's not being asked.
Yeah.
It's super boring. You're not gonna make it if you do that.
Yeah, it's still a people business. Like an artist or creator, whatever, is trying to sell their stuff to another person. So yeah, just pumping it
Yeah,
in
but
places that's not good. That's or
yeah,
not
it
welcome. It's
gives a
not good.
bad image of yourself for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's not the right philosophy as well. To no, it's no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So yeah.
yeah, currently then, what does a typical day look like? Like, are you sleeping ever?
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay, good.
I do. Uh, that's complicated because right now I'm not only doing one thing. I'm on different stuff at the same time, which is a bit complicated because I have a few plans that I want to be done with regarding the project.
Mhm.
So I have to make them right now as I'm finishing season one. So that's why I'm pretty slow right now.
Mm. And how soon does
Um,
season one end?
that's a good question.
Oh,
So
okay.
because we are preparing this giant interactive raffle, it prevent me to give you any dates or
Oh yeah.
to have more than one shaker a day
Mhm.
or a week.
Yeah.
But as soon I'm done with that and we start on season 2, should be better. I mean, no, because we're gonna have another big thing coming, which I won't tell you
Oh yeah,
what it is.
yeah, yeah. No,
But I
no
think a lot of
spoilers.
people are gonna like it. Yeah. So plenty of things at the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So just constantly juggling a bunch of different things. And I think that's really important too. Like I wanted to like get your story out there and everything so people do see like we see a drop, say. There's a new Shacker and it's like, okay, now when's the next one? Like I talked to Jack from Skull Kids about this a little bit too, where like as soon as something's available, then it's like okay, give me the next thing. But like you're one person. You are doing really deep work, really involved work to create these like amazing works of art, creating a universe, creating all of these different this experience for us as like part of the community. And yeah, I think it's really valuable to get that out there and let people like see like, oh yeah, this is what I'm investing in. I'm investing in Shaq and his vision and everything that he's putting together. So yeah, I think it's hugely valuable.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
But yeah, like thank you so much for sharing the story and everything. I don't want to take too much of your time today, but because I know you're going to be right back at it in a few minutes. But so where should we send people? Where's the best place for people to start on their and diving into the Shack and Shackers?
I think the best place is Twitter because it's the place where I there's all the links and you have a few bits of stories. I mean, there's a link to join the Discord, of course. Discord is important, especially for us because this is where I store all the Shacker stories, where all the RG happened, and we have giveaways, raffle exclusively for Discord people. So yeah, go on to our I'd say Twitter.
Yeah,
so it's a good start point, and the handle is S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S NFT.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
this is great.
Anytime, man. Thank you so much.
I want to thank Shaq for joining me on this episode. Definitely check out his project, S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S NFT, and it's just at S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S NFT on Twitter. And hop in the Discord. You can, if you hop in soon, you can help me try to figure out this latest puzzle, me and everyone else in there, because it is so mind-bending and so challenging, but it's satisfying. It's a great time. Like I really think you'll enjoy. You'll love the art and really enjoy your experience within this community. And the future is extremely bright. I can only imagine what it'll come up with. So that's S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S NFT on Twitter. As always, this episode of Starting Now is brought to you by Built. At Built, we help you get started online. Whether you want to start a blog or a business, head over to built.co. That's BYLT.co to get started. Built. Your website, built for you, simply. And finally, if you're enjoying the show, I would love it if you subscribe. Check it out on YouTube if you're not already watching it there. And just hit that little subscribe and little bell button and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because it really means a lot and helps me reach more people. So that'll do it for this week. Again, I'm S.H.A.C.K.E.R.S. This has been Started Now, and I'll see you next time.